Hey everyone, Caffeine Man here, and are you guys excited for the new Redcon1 Jolt collab? That's right, we have a Jolt energy drink, and I mean, how can you not be excited by the nostalgia, by the drink, by Redcon1 collabing with Jolt Cola? It is almost impossible not to be excited by it, and I am the 1% that is probably not overly excited about it, and I will tell you why, coming right up. Hello again everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it, and in today's video I got the Redcon1 Jolt Cola energy drink review for you. You guys have been asking me for a while, and I finally found it in the store near me. I was at Vitamin Shop, I picked up a couple of new drinks. I don't end up going to Vitamin Shop as often as I would like because it used to be right next to where I work. I don't work there anymore, so now it's like 45 minutes away, which is crazy long distance for a island guy like me. But I grabbed it, I picked it up, and I have it for you right now. And as I said in the beginning, how can you not be excited by this? It is a classic flavor. It is nostalgia for those of you who are around my age and a little bit, maybe a touch younger, maybe a touch older. And then they tried to actually make a resurgence just a few years back. Everyone was also hyped up when it made a comeback, and then it kind of went away again. And the reason why I am not overly excited by it, even though it is Redcon1, I've liked a lot of the Redcon1 drinks. I think they do a great job, but it has been extremely difficult for any company to get cola into an energy drink. And we're talking any company because there are so many discontinued colas out there. You'll see it when I put up the Caffeine Man rating chart. And even Coca-Cola came out with their Coke Energy that only lasted a little over a year before it was discontinued. It is difficult to get cola into an energy drink. And me personally, if you didn't know it, you probably don't know it because I'm always so happy and jovial and energetic in my videos. But I do tend to be a little bit of a pessimist. I would say I see the glass as being half empty. And I would say that I'm only like 52 or 53% pessimistic. So I do try to be optimistic. But the thing is, if you think about it, if you are always seeing the glass as half empty and you're always kind of expecting the worst, then you won't be disappointed when something is bad. You can be like, I knew it wasn't going to be that great. But if it is actually good, you can be pleasantly surprised and be like, oh wow, that's really good. As opposed to going into everything optimistically, thinking that everything is going to be great in the world, that every restaurant that you try that you saw on TikTok is going to be amazing, and then you go there and you're like, this wasn't really that great. You end up being let down like a lot more. So that's how I've sort of lived my life. Now, except when it comes to energy drinks, because I've tried a lot of energy drinks, and it is easy to get excited about something that you really like. The only other thing that I probably get excited about is when we find a new pizza place or hear about another pizza place to try, or when we go on vacation finding pizza places to go to because we love pizza and we want to try it. So we all love energy drinks, so it is exciting when a new energy drink comes out. And you would think that because it is so difficult to get into stores and because it's so difficult to make an energy drink and be successful, that these companies are going to be putting their best foot forward for each flavor they come out with. So it is easy to get excited by energy drinks. I am typically optimistic when it comes specifically to energy drinks, but knowing what I know, given the history of how long I've been doing this, the amount of energy drinks I have reviewed, over 1,200 reviews, I know that cola is very difficult. And let's take a look at it. Jolt Cola. What were they known for? How did they advertise their marketing? And for Jolt Cola, their original slogan was all the sugar, twice the amount of caffeine. My goodness, how much is that? Listen, this drink came out long time ago. I mean, we're talking like the 80s, I think it was, probably right around 1985. And of course, parents were like, oh my goodness, soda has too much sugar in it, blah, blah, blah. So Jolt said, listen, we're gonna crash onto the market. We are gonna make a splash and we're gonna shock everybody. And that's the marketing that they wanted to go with, to get that shock, to get that powerful, potent jolt of energy to you and drive the kids crazy. Like the kids wanted this, they'd make their parents get it. The parents that didn't know about this drink were like, yeah, drink all the soda you want. But there were some parents like, no, I heard the marketing on that. You cannot have that soda, which made the kids want it even more. And you know, kids will be kids. They have a way to get their hands on anything. So they were able to get their hands on it. So it had a high amount of sugar. And how much caffeine did it have in it? Well, listen, we're in 2025 now, so we're not really shocked by some of the caffeine amounts, but you will be shocked by this number because it's extremely low. The original version only had like 72 milligrams of caffeine, because at the time there was actually restrictions by the FDA as to how much sugar you could have in your sodas, and something like a Coca-Cola only had about 35 milligrams of caffeine in it. So to go with 72 was twice the amount of caffeine, but it wasn't even the amount that Red Bull had when they came out. And so it was all the sugar, twice the caffeine for a soda. And a lot of people say, well, it was probably the first energy drink out there, but it really didn't have many of the classifications for an energy drink besides the amount of caffeine they were putting in there. And what do I mean by that? Well, one of the most common definitions for an energy drink is that it has to have an additional ingredient besides caffeine that helps promote energy. And some might say, well, doesn't sugar do that too? But we're talking things like more like B vitamins and other things that speed up your metabolism, as opposed to things like sugar that give you a crash. Whatever the case may be, it could be highly debated whether it was the first energy drink or not, but no one can argue their slogan, all the sugar, twice the caffeine. And that being said, since we know how difficult it is to get cola flavor into an energy drink, one of the biggest hurdles that companies had to try and overcome was not having sugar in their energy drinks. And even Coke Energy, Coke did a sugar-free version and they did a regular version with sugar, and the one that had sugar in it did taste a little bit closer to a cola flavor. So when you have a company that is a sugar-free company trying to do a cola, it is extremely difficult to do. I wish Redcon1 the best of luck with it, but my hopes have been lowered a bit just given the history and facts of cola energy drinks, and we will see how long it is on the market. I'm hoping, a lot of companies have been doing collabs. There have been Skittles collabs, Starburst collabs, Jolly Rancher collabs. Rise has done tons of collabs, and Ghost trying to do collabs with Swedish Fish, but then having it canceled because they signed on with Dr. Pepper, and Mondelez didn't like Dr. Pepper. But collabs are becoming very popular. The thing is, how long will these collabs last? And not only how long will it last, but is it actually a good flavor like Jolt Cola, or did they just purchase the licensing to get it? Because Jolt Cola is a license that you can purchase. When Jolt Cola went off the market, they still had their license to buy. Someone bought the license to come out with Jolt Gum, and then someone else bought the license not too long ago, or probably within the last decade, to revamp Jolt Cola, and it failed miserably. So they have been trying to do lots of different things. So Redcon1 is jumping in saying, hey, we're gonna make a cola. It's gonna be Jolt Cola, and it's not gonna have 72 milligrams of caffeine. It's gonna have 200 milligrams of caffeine. But let's go ahead, let's stop talking about this, because some people, a lot of you guys, I'm still making long videos because I know you guys watch them, but I found a sweet spot, really. And I've been doing that sweet spot for about a good solid year or two now, and it's been working out. The people that don't like all the blah, blah, blah can usually stand it for a little while or fast forward. The people that do like the talking say, well, we want you to talk a little bit longer. I say, I know where to cut the line. It's right now. Let's taste it out. But first, let's take a much closer look at this can for Jolt Cola by Redcon1. And they got the nice red on there. They got some yellow for the bolt on there. So you got the red, the yellow, a little bit of blue in there. And I gotta tell you, they really went with the marketing for Jolt Cola. Like, they're making this look like it's actually like Jolt Cola for an energy drink, because there's only a tiny itty bitty logo there. Did you guys even see it when I was holding up the can? There's only a small logo that says powered by Redcon1. So they don't get the big Redcon logo with the little tiny Jolt logo like a lot of the companies do. They're really marketing this as Jolt Cola, which is great because people are going to see it, and people are requesting like, hey, did you review the Jolt Cola? Can you review the Jolt Energy? Do the Jolt Energy, do the Jolt Cola Energy. I'm actually curious how many people watching this video knew that it was actually by Redcon1. Like, the hardcore fans know, oh yeah, Redcon1 made Jolt Cola. But if they didn't see it advertised by anybody, do you actually know that this is made by Redcon1? Or are you just finding out about it now? Whatever the case may be, we've already talked about it. It is zero sugar. It is 200 milligrams of caffeine. It's got pre-workout ingredients because that's what Redcon1 gives you. It does contain no fruit juice. So I've always wondered why they do that, because when you contain something, that means you have it. It contains it. It's a container. It holds stuff. But you can't hold none of something. But I'm guessing the government decided that they wanted to put these things no fruit juice in them. So they required it to let you know that it contains no fruit juice, or it contains 1%, or contains 0%. But they got to switch the word contains, because they should just really be able to say no fruit juice. It doesn't contain no fruit juice, but we know how the federal government is with the English language, so let's not even get into that. Let's get into this drink. Let's taste it out. There we go. Not gonna go too crazy with it because it's a cola flavor. It can be pretty foamy. And you know, they did actually go with the regular color of soda. It is Jolt Cola, so they didn't want to scare anybody when they bought it by giving you a clear color. But you know, they don't, supplement companies don't like to have my dog hair in there. Don't want that in there. But they don't like to use artificial colors, but it's not an artificial color, it is actually caramel color, which is actually natural because it comes from caramel. Moment of truth, people, we're gonna do it. Caffeine Man's expectations are set a little bit low. If anything, I'm curious if it's gonna be a good diet cola flavor. Which doesn't make sense because Jolt Cola is twice the sugar, or twice the caffeine, all the sugar, zero sugar. How are you gonna taste like cola? You're gonna taste like diet cola. That's what it's gonna taste like. So is it a good diet cola? I don't know. Maybe it's gonna taste like regular cola. Let's just taste it out. Do it, Caffeine Man. Here we go. So for carbonation, you're getting a high carbonation out of here. They did really go with the soda feel. I tend to think that soda has a high carbonation, although I have had some sodas that are sort of on the low end of high. Otherwise, you end up kind of tasting flat. A decent amount of the cola energy drinks have tasted kind of flat. So I think they know that, and they did pump up the carbonation a little bit to really give you that cola feel and not flat feeling. As for your sweetness, you are getting a high amount of sweetness. I would say it's on the low end of high. I could imagine it being a little bit more sweet, especially with the all the sugar kind of marketing that it used to have. You really want it to be like extra sweet, but I would say it is probably a bit sweeter than some of the other colas that I've had, because I'm trying to compare it to the other colas in my head, the other cola energy drinks, because it's definitely hard to get cola in there, so I am comparing it in my head to the other cola energy drinks, and I think they're doing it. I think they've looked at all the other failed and discontinued flavors and said, what was wrong with those? We watched all of Caffeine Man videos. They had to watch all of my videos to know. They can't just do market research. They can't find out how things failed in the past. They have to watch Caffeine Man videos to see what I've said about every single cola. And they worked on the carbonation to get you that higher carbonation so it's not a flat soda. And they worked on getting you that sweetness to get you a higher amount of sweetness so you can get closer to soda. And for your flavor profile, I would say that it is a high flavor profile, and I think they're doing a pretty good job with the cola. And what am I mean by pretty good job? I think when you compare it to the other cola energy drinks out there, it's doing a really good job. Does it taste like soda? Does it taste like Jolt in a can? It's close to a cola flavor. But it's not soda. That's the thing. It's not soda, but I think it's probably the closest you're probably gonna get to a cola flavor in an energy drink. It still needs to be an energy drink. It's still gonna have some reminiscent qualities of an energy drink. Let's go back in again. One of the big questions, of course, is that does it taste diety? I made a big deal about that, tasting diety, and I don't think that it is overly diety. And the reason for that is because most diet sodas for your colas use aspartame in there. This doesn't use aspartame, I don't think. I'm pretty positive. No one uses aspartame in energy drinks. They are using sucralose, but on the back end, you still do get hints of it being diet, hints of it being sugar-free, because that energy drink sugar-free flavor is always gonna come up in the colas for some reason. You can get a lot of different energy drinks that are doing Swedish Fish, pina coladas, and any other flavor out there, and most of the time, you're probably not gonna really get a diet taste out of them, which is why energy drinks have become so popular. People are like, I don't like all the sugar in energy drinks. Like, well, we got sugar-free. Like, I don't like sugar-free drinks. And then they drink them, they're like, well, that doesn't have aspartame. That doesn't taste diet like a diet cola, and a majority of the flavored energy drinks that are sugar-free are really, really good. There is a small percentage of people that can't have sucralose because it does taste diet. Those people still do exist, but they are in the minority, and when you drink this drink, you can taste a little bit of dietness out of it, but I still think that it is competitive. So why don't we go ahead, take a look at the Caffeine Man rating chart, look at what's up there, look at what has been discontinued. My goodness, not many survivors up there. I'm going to give this an 8.7 because I think they did a really good job with it. Like I said, I do think it is competitive with a lot of the other energy drink colas that have come out, and it's getting tight in that area. A lot of the companies that do a decent job or a good job with the cola are in that area right there. So let's bump out the discontinued flavors, okay? Let's clear up that chart a little bit, and there you go. Now we got some breathing room, we got some stuff going on there. We can see how this is against the stuff that is currently on the market that I know of. Some of those others could have been discontinued. I probably should look it up. I'll look it up, maybe I'll look it up. But all that matters is that it is good. It is competitive with some of those other ones. And listen, some of those other ones get an unfair competition. Even though that Cocaine Black has been discontinued, that has sugar in it. So that had an unfair advantage because it was using sugar. That Celsius Cherry Cola, that's way up there. It's got the unfair advantage that it has cherry in it. So it gives you a little bit more flavor besides just the cola. Because as you can see, the original Celsius Cola without the cherry in it didn't really score all that well. So if we go ahead and want to be completely fair, if we want to get rid of all those discontinued drinks and we want to be fair with the other cola flavors out there, let's remove the cherry. Yes, I'm making so much work for myself in editing, but let's go ahead, let's remove the cherry flavors from there and just put the colas. You are going to see that, wow, there's nothing up there. There's no competition. So if you're looking for an energy cola, you really want a good one, you don't have any options. You're going to be stuck with this one. And right now, even though I say it's an 8.7, it's your best option on the market right now. For straight on cola, if you don't mind a little bit of cherry for cherry cola, then you'll have some additional options. But just know, even though it is the top cola energy drink on the market right now, you are going to get a little bit of diet on the back end, but hopefully that touch of diet flavor doesn't bother you from the original flavor of cola energy drink. And yeah, there you go, 8.7 on the Caffeine Man rating chart. Looking for some colas to hit the 9s. I do think that some of these companies, like a company like Redcon1 taking on this challenge, did a good job. I am curious if any other companies are going to take on the challenge to get you a straight on cola flavor and do it right. Got a lot of room on that chart up there. For now, 8.7. If you do want to know more about Redcon1 and some of their flavors, I have the original video right there. It goes over all the ingredients, some of the company information. And if you do want to know more about the top cherry cola out there, you can check out that video right there. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. And until next time, stay hyper, stay caffeinated, and yeah, I'm not going to change my slogan. Have yourselves a great day. Or night.